All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another AJAXCAST. Today we got another good one for y'all. Me and the Beam are back at it with an Episode 7 House of the Dragon recap. Highest rated episode we've seen so far with a 9.4 on IMDb, which to me is just super impressive. I've been super thrilled with the series so far. In this episode, it had me licking my fingers. Very dramatic. It's a whole lot of fun to watch. And we finally got to see some more of Vhagar. Holy shit. That scene was so fucking cinematic with her fucking flying through the air, fucking swooping down over the sea and everything. Probably one of the biggest parts of the whole season right now is when Aemond fucking climbs on and basically makes Vhagar his. We'll talk more about that, but one thing I want to talk about real quick, Tyler, that was pretty important, you know, and Aemond losing his eye was also pretty important. But the biggest thing of the episode, you know what it was?
Tell me.
It was right when all the shit was going down. Alicent was going to stab one of Rhaenyra's kids, and then Sir Criston goes running over there, and Damon steps in and stops him in his fucking tracks, bows up, and I was like, that's a power move.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That is,
yeah. It was pretty interesting, honestly, too, just seeing that power dynamic between the two. Because, you know, Criston would have stepped up to... Rhaenyra's little lover there, strong, but not when it comes to Damon, which is interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. Another big thing that I want to talk about before we dive in is in the books, Laenor dies. He dies. We see in this episode that we think he dies, but actually they faked his death. So they actually rewrote history that's in the books. So it was not written that Laenor travels off. It's written that he dies. But I guess from the point of view that they told it from the book, they just have it that he's dead, and that's it. Versus right in here, we see Damon, we see a little soft side from him, kind of saving Laenor and having him just leave, leave everything behind and go with his lover to go live a more free life, which I thought that said even more about Damon, who is evolving even more and more as a character. And just shows that he has a heart, he has sympathy. So, I said I was going to be Team Damon from the very start. Go back to our first Ajax cast about this, and I am sticking with it. I don't care what the fuck he does. But, overall...
if he starts committing war crimes.
It's fine. He's still going for them toes. That's what it's all about. But, overall, what did you think of the episode?
I thought it was pretty good, honestly. I loved all the foreshadowing in the episode too. And again, I have a lot to talk about with that Vhagar scene too. Mm-hmm. But overall, I think this was a great setup to, I think, what's going to be one of the final time skips of next episode. This is pretty much setting the battle lines for how the Civil War is going to look right here. So yeah, pretty good, especially for a setup episode. For it to be this well written and acted is just impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the episode starts off, they're all there for Laena's funeral, and Damon kind of giggles when they're sitting there putting her body out to sea, because that's what they do, the Valarians, that's what they do, versus the Targaryens, they burn their bodies. And
I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to mention that too.
So they become one with the sky. Yeah. I think Damon was kind of laughing and mocking that they just throw the bodies and coffins in the ocean, because obviously what he thinks is right is the only thing that he will ever consider. So I think he was kind of laughing and mocking the fact of their traditions, being like, oh, they're just fucking throwing her in the water, versus they should burn her, let her become one with the sky and the earth.
They're littering in the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, fucking pollution. But yeah,
it was interesting dichotomy though, because they're both Valyrian houses, but again, it's just another illustration that Velaryon has aligned themselves more with the sea and a navy, whereas House Targaryen focuses more on obviously the air and dragons.
Yep.
So again, it's an interesting dichotomy.
Yep. And moving forward, we see more of Alicent being hypocrite Hightower and just bitter at Rhaenyra, being the bitch that she is. And I think I don't know if she'd be as bad as Cersei, but she's definitely a pain in the ass. So we see a lot of awkward, awful stare downs. Sir Otto Hightower's already become the hand of the king again. I guess no questions asked, because Viserys is fucking pussy whipped right now.
Yeah, that's another thing I noticed in this episode. He doesn't really seem to have like any backbone
Yeah,
whatsoever.
dude, he
He's
doesn't have
becoming more
shit.
and more of a political puppet of Alicent, but even to a minor extent, even Rhaenyra,
Mm-hmm.
because when Aemond lost his eye, he would have been in his rights to punish Rhaenyra and her family for what happened, and he just turned a blind eye to it.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
could kind of
definitely.
understand why Alicent got so pissed off about it because again, we have to remember that's Viserys' kid who just got his eye gouged
Yeah,
out. But
exactly.
he did nothing. He just said, well, that sucks. Kids will be kids, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But
So I
also,
can
he was
empathize a little
pissed.
bit.
He was
Oh,
pissed
yeah,
after the bastard thing. He's tired of hearing that, and he knows that's only coming from Alicent. You know,
exactly.
she's the one repeating it and saying it to where it's affecting his kids and his family. Like he wants them all to be together as one, which is I mean, it's never gonna happen again. But they were originally one, and they've been separate ever since Alicent and Viserys got married because of obvious reasons.
Well, yeah, too. It's not even just affecting his family, it's affecting all the noble houses in Westeros.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as Aegon said when Viserys questioned him, he said, everyone knows that that's not Laenor's kids.
Yep.
Right? You just got to look at them honestly, because
How
that
does he
was,
know?
yeah, exactly. Honestly, this was something that we saw in the first Game of Thrones series. The
Mm-hmm.
entire first season was focused on Ned Stark looking at the hair color of Cersei's kids and
Yep.
figuring out it's not Robert Baratheon's kids, and that started a civil war too. So it's kind of a similar situation here.
Yep. Yep. But moving forward, Damon finally gets them toes. Him and Rhaenyra went on a long walk, and they had the sex. They did the sex.
The sexy sex.
In a like kind of like hut wrecked ship thing that's on the
Very
beach
romantic.
conveniently. Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, there we go. And while that's going down, our boy Aemond, also known as the Kinslayer, I think we'll figure that out more later. But he goes and steals Vhagar. Claims Vhagar is his since he didn't have a dragon, and it was fucking awesome. I just love how fearless he was. He was like, I fucking want this. And he climbed on Vhagar and rode her everywhere. That was awesome. Like the
He almost
siege,
got launched off a few times
I
too.
know. The CGI and the cinematography of it was incredible. I was so impressed with it.
I was blown away. It just gets me more excited for the dragon fights later on. If that by itself looked that good, I'm excited to see what happens when the Civil War really gets going and we see multiple dragons on screen fighting each other.
Yep. And this is something I was kind of talking about. How big of an advantage do you think Vhagar is versus all the other dragons?
Oh yeah, that's the thing too. Like, first off, when he got on that dragon, I don't think he was even considering for a minute the political ramifications of it.
Oh, hell no.
I think
Hell
the
no.
entire reason he hopped on that was just because I want a fucking dragon. I'm tired of being bullied about it. And I finally have a chance to get one of my own.
Yeah.
Not only a dragon, but the oldest and biggest and strongest dragon of all.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Or
think later
that's
on, when
left.
he was, yeah, that's left alive now. Obviously, if Balerion was still around,
Yeah.
that would be the best. But anyway, you got to realize too, like in this universe, dragons are like a real world equivalent of like a mini portable nuke,
Oh yeah.
right? It drastically changes the power balance, and I think now the blacks have a bit of an advantage against the green. The
The
greens have an
greens, yeah.
advantage against the blacks. That's
Yeah.
right.
Daenerys kind of displayed what just one mid-sized dragon could do to an entire city. So
Mm.
having the biggest and strongest dragon, I think, says a lot and is going to do a lot. The only thing I would have against Vhagar is she's very old. So we'll see when it comes to like durability, because like even you see her flying, you see like holes in her wings and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if her being too big is going to be an issue in being old, just when it comes down to it. But
Hmm.
I guess I'll wait and see, because also I don't think they're going to have what, Euron Greyjoy and Cersei had, the big harpoons that launch out that they
Yeah,
were shooting the fucking dragons with.
bad
I
stuff.
I don't think they're going to have that. I think it's mainly going to be
No,
dragon on dragon, but we'll see.
yeah, it's interesting too. Like, I just imagine that Vhagar is still going to also be terrorizing just the countryside,
Oh yeah,
everyone living near King's Landing. I remember the original Game of Thrones series,
Drogon was
uh,
doing it.
yeah, Drogon was terrorizing the landscape over in like Marine because he needed food, and Vhagar is just so much bigger that I honestly kind of question if even King's Landing is going to be able to feed them all.
No.
Because it's not just Vhagar; it's going to be all a bunch of other dragons on the green side too.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to bring up a quote too. I think Aemond's going to be one of my new favorite characters in the show,
Yeah.
just because his quotes are so cool. Like,
Yeah.
remember when he lost his eye, and after Alicent went after one of Rhaenyra's children to take their eye, he looked to his mother and said, "It's okay. I may have lost an eye, but I gained a dragon." And
So
it's
cold.
perfectly illustrates
So
what I've been
cold.
saying here. Is like it puts the Greens in such a good position politically,
Dude, that was
right?
so
Because
cold.
I know. And I think, again, he didn't originally do it for political reasons, but I think later on, after everything that went down, he realized just how politically important it was. And even Otto brings it up with Alicent later on. And I was
Mm-hmm.
honestly kind of surprised, too, that Viserys did nothing after Alicent went after Rhaenyra's kids. I always thought he would at least do something minor, but he did nothing. He just moved on, glossed it over, and pretended like everyone was one big happy family still.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh man. Yeah, that was a pretty cold quote by him. But another thing that I really liked is when like the kids were fighting, Aemond gets back from riding Vhagar, like, and they go to they all start having a kid fight, which was kind of cool. And
Mhm.
Aemond's kind of kicking ass, and then he pulls out a rock and is about to bash Rhaenyra's youngest son's head or middle child's son head in with a rock. And the older brother fucking pulls his knife. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, let's go. And then
Yeah, I know. It
I was like, that's
I honestly
awesome.
thought that was gonna be the moment he got the Kinslayer title. Because like we all
Yeah.
know that's what his title is. And so you see that scene and you think, all right, here's where it happens.
Hmm.
And it was a nice little fake out. And again, harkening back to what you said earlier, how Laenor didn't actually die like he did in the books, I think was another great fake out.
Yes.
Because a lot of the people who are watching House of the Dragon probably also watch Game of Thrones.
Hmm.
And everyone knows no main character is safe unless you're like Jon Snow,
Hmm.
right? Anyone could die at any time. So those fake outs, I think, were executed very well. And I think it probably surprised a lot of people because we're so used to watching these main characters die at any given moment.
Yeah, and I mean,
That was pretty cool.
Jon Snow wasn't even safe. Like, I thought he was fucking dead. You know,
I mean,
like,
he was technically dead
yeah,
for a
he
bit.
was dead. Like the fact that he got brought back, I was like, I didn't really see that coming until they had like the fire priestess and everything come in there. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, Game of Thrones kind of sets the tone for this as well. Ned Stark dies; he's the fan favorite. He dies, so you start getting fan favorites here. It's like, okay, there's this person, there's this person. Shit, they may die soon.
It's
So
always the nice and honorable guys. So again, I mean, we all know Viserys is going to die at the end of the season.
yeah,
So I think he's going to be the Ned Stark that we actually expect it, at
yeah,
least.
exactly. But after that happens, like the whole fight between the adults breaks out, the yelling match, whatever, and then Viserys tries to take control, which he kind of does, but you can tell it takes a lot out of him.
Mhm.
And then Alicent says that she wants to take one of Rhaenyra's son's eyes, and then they eventually calm everything down. And I was just so taken back by how much power Alicent thinks she has with King Viserys standing right fucking there. You know, King Viserys is like pretty much don't do anything, listen to me, don't go try to take his eye. And then Alicent says, Sir Criston, you are my royal bodyguard, so you have to listen to me. Go take one of the boy's eyes. Like, just completely disregards what Viserys said. Like, she does not give a fuck what he says.
That's the thing that gets me though is like, are you sure she doesn't have that power? Because again, she didn't face any repercussions for that.
I know.
He very well could have gone up to her. If Damon wasn't there, there was a fairly strong chance that it might have actually happened that one of her kids lost an eye.
Yeah,
Because Viserys isn't doing shit about it.
yeah. And I love that whole scene. You just see Damon kind of lurking in the back. Like he looks like he's analyzing everything. I don't know. And then he just steps in and stops Sir Criston. Like I was like, oh hell yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a leaner. Leans on walls all the time
Yeah,
in
I
the
was leaning.
background, and he just waits for his moment.
Waits for his moment. He's the chill guy at the party, you know.
I don't know if I'd call him chill,
He's
but
chill. He's so chill. He's so chill. Damon is a Sigma, but
oh yeah, Sigma energy right there.
yep. But Rhaenyra and Damon tie the knot. They do the Valarian or the old Valyrian custom where they like drink each other's blood, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, some pretty metal shit right there.
Yeah. My girlfriend said that's like what Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox did at their wedding.
That's basically who they are.
Yeah.
Just because you just brought that up, and I just realized that's basically this couple.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. We also see Laura Strong is probably the biggest kiss ass in the Seven Kingdoms. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be interesting to watch too, because it seems
hmm
like he just wants to murder everyone.
yeah, I'm like,
He seems to be
okay.
like a more bloodthirsty Littlefinger and a more powerful Littlefinger too, just
Yeah.
because he has Harrenhal.
And then
So
moving
honestly, I
back,
think he may be even more dangerous than him.
exactly. And then moving back, is that the dagger Littlefinger had? It looks oddly similar.
I am going to go ahead and predict that it is because it seems like it would be. Because I imagine there aren't a lot of Valyrian steel daggers in Westeros.
Mm-hmm.
It
It
does look fairly similar.
it's
So I'm
very
going to go ahead and predict that it is.
yeah. Let's just say it is. Come on, let's have fun.
Hmm.
um, yeah. Sir Criston Cole is still bitch made. Doesn't have a nutsack anymore. Um, but I really liked how they changed, like what I was talking about earlier. How Laenor didn't actually die. They faked his death, and he's gone. He's out.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's interesting that they didn't kill him off because you start to wonder, like, is he going to come back later on?
No, I don't think he
Right.
will. I think he's
I mean, I
outie.
imagine he won't, but again, they've taken a few liberties already with the show and they've been good. But just it seems like in a lot of TV shows and movies, if a character isn't expressly killed off and they just kind of disappear for a bit, there's always a chance they might come back.
Yeah,
So,
I
I think it's nice that they're leaving that possibility open.
yeah, I just don't think he's gonna come back. Like, there's nothing much for him anymore. Like, his sister's dead. He really doesn't care that much about Rhaenyra and his kids. He's tried, or his kids he fake fathered. He's tried, you know. Um,
Yeah,
but
but I guess another question though too is if House Valarian, whoever what's his name, the head of House Valarian right now,
Corlys,
like yeah, Corlys, he's gonna eventually die one day,
hmm
and Laenor is the heir, right? Now obviously they assume he's dead, but there is a chance that Laenor could come back to claim his inheritance.
yeah, that is an option. I think if anything, it's gonna go to one of Damon's kids out of respect for Lena's death and like the great funeral they had. I mean, I know they're gonna do the same thing for Laenor, but it's just gonna be no one's gonna come out to it. You know,
Mhm.
everyone's just there.
Exactly.
They're like, we're not coming back.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't think he will, but I still think it's interesting that they decided not to kill him off.
Hmm
He just leaves the door open.
I thought he was 100% dead. Like
I did too.
I did not expect that. And then like when it shows Damon choking out the guy in the stairwell, and I was like, wait a second, like okay. And then moving forward, that dead body's just burning there.
Yeah, I wonder what poor guy got sacrificed for that.
I think it was the dude in the stairwell.
Oh, you think so?
Mm-hmm. I
I could
100%
see
think
it.
so.
Maybe.
Yeah, because the guy kind of looked like Laenor just a little bit.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like if
I that will be my headcanon now. I assume it's that. Either way, though, sucks for that guy. Bad day at the office.
yep, yep. Shouldn't hang out with Targaryens.
Or
Lesson learned. Or
Valarians.
Valorans.
Just no Valyrians
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah, go to somewhere. Yeah, yeah, they should just follow where Laenor's going. Go east. Get the fuck out of there. Go to the free
Exactly.
cities.
Go to the more progressive free cities.
Yeah, just watch out for the Sons of the Harpy, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, just stay out of Marine.
If anything, just join them. You know, I think that's the
True.
safest thing to do.
Yeah,
But
or become the next crab feeder.
oh yeah, there you go with grayscale.
Yeah, I'm
But
interested to see if we explore Essos at all in the show too.
I
Like
don't
obviously
know.
we talked about it a little bit when they dealt with the triarchy, but I'm interested to see if they play a role in the Civil War too.
They've also quit talking about the North and the Wall. It's been
Yeah,
several episodes since they've said anything, so I'm like, oh, okay. Damn, I was wanting to see like a welding revolt and have the dragons go and just melt a bunch of motherfuckers.
yeah. I mean, I honestly question whether they even brought it up at all. Honestly, because I'm pretty sure. Again, I haven't read the book, so I don't know for sure. I'm pretty sure the North isn't involved at all in
Yeah.
the Civil War. So I was a little weird. I thought it was a little weird that they brought it up at all.
I think it's just a little bit of a cock tease, because everyone loves Ned Stark, everyone loves Jon Snow, so it's just a tease.
Fair enough.
But yeah, is there anything else that you want to say about the episode overall? Like, I thought it was incredible. Whole lot of setup. It's getting really juicy. Tensions are rising more and more.
I will say that honestly, I'm pretty impressed so far with how high quality some of these episodes have been, considering that most of them are just setup episodes. Like this is still
Yeah.
background. Like we're not even in the main story yet. And it seems
Mm-hmm.
like we're not going to get into the main story until like the end of this season. So
Yep.
I've been impressed so far with how good the writing's been, how entertaining it's been, just setting up everything. So I'm really excited to see what happens once we actually dive into the meat of the story.
Yeah, like we've seen like no combat. We had the tourney on the first episode, and then we had Damon going in there going ape shit on the crab feeder and his boys. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really anything else, although we may get some more combat hopefully next episode. But still, though, even if we don't, I've been pretty entertained so far. Like the
Oh
writing has
yeah.
been really good, and so has the cinematography. Always been good cinematography on the Game of Thrones universe.
Yeah, it's been great. I'm loving it so far, and I just love the build up that they're having with this. We're still getting a lot of rising action, and you could go through every episode. Like, if we broke down all the foreshadowing that's happened from episode 1 to now, it's incredible. Like, there's so many little things that foreshadow to what's going to happen next. Like, I mean, the easiest one to see, I think, was when Helena was talking about if Aemond wanted a dragon, he'd have to close an eye first, or he'd
Hmm.
have to close an eye for it, which he got his eye sliced, and then he does end up getting Vhagar, the most powerful dragon in Westeros.
Yeah,
But
honestly, if we made a video just on the foreshadowing alone and all these episodes, it would be like 2 hours long.
yeah, it would
Just
it would
seeing
take a
how much
while.
they've done.
But anyways, thank you guys for watching. We've loved all the support you guys have been giving us. If you haven't seen already, we're on Spotify. Check out all of our other social media. Let us know what you guys want to see next. And yeah, we'll see y'all next time. Peace.